And
Yeah.
just one more question. So like earlier when you were talking about trauma, especially for like when they maybe encounter like a response or something that triggers that trauma response again, it'll be like reliving the same thing again. So it's like if you go to trauma therapy or something, you said, I'm just trying to clarify, you said that wouldn't be like an ideal strategy of just going back to that situation or
Thank you for asking that. If someone specializes in trauma, that therapy is probably going to be very good. But if someone doesn't know the Enneagram, they can miss opportunities to help the person heal. And in my experience, people do not heal as rapidly as they do when you use the type and the tritype and the instinct, because you get the specific need that will help with that process. I don't mean to imply that trauma therapy doesn't work. I just feel like there are way too many missed opportunities. And you can accidentally put someone that has synesthesia back in the traumatic experience, the PTSD of it. And that's possible anyhow. How do you experience it, Spencer?
So I focus specifically on the tritype in general, and your tritype is kind of widespread. You've got a number, you've got 4 that actually wants to go to the feeling, and then you got the polarity of the 9 where it's like, if I could just kind of wait this out, maybe the feeling will go, and then I can lift my head back up. I call it ostriching, where like once I lift my head back up, maybe everything will be fine again. And then you got the 7 that wants good vibes, good times, but in order to feel good, might need to address that. So your 4 needs to know that you can go here and it'll be safe. Your 7 needs to know that we can bring it up but back out at any time. And your 9 needs to know I'm not going to push you there, because the more you push the 9, the more 9 digs its feet into the ground. It's like, go ahead and try and move me. It's not going to happen. So it's recognizing, okay, this tritype as a whole wants to go there, but also feels conflicted about going there. So it's understanding that, like, it's, for me personally, whenever I work with this type, I make it clear before we go into it, hey, my intention is to really go this and nurture this. And because you lead with 4, I'm going to really try to nurture your 4. But I want to let your 7 and 9 know that at any point we can pull back. And you can know at any point that you're right. I'm very client-centered, so I let my clients decide the speed and the momentum that we do things. And we can dabble that in. And if I don't hear you talk about it, I'm going to check in, because your 9 and your 7 aren't going to want to talk about it. And your 4 is going to be quietly suffering over here if the other 2 are in charge. So again, I really focus on the numbers that are involved, because 1/3 of you is going to feel neglected. The needs aren't going to be met because I can't fully authentically go there, because the 9 has too many memories of finally letting all the emotions out and everyone getting so caught off guard that's like, oh, not doing that again, not doing that again. And, going to the negative, which is going to heavy feelings for a 7, is not being in this like good, positive vibes. Well, at least.
Painful.
Yeah, exactly. The go-to phrase for a 7 is at least. One of my favorite phrases I ever heard from one of my 7 clients, it was a couples session, and he turns to her and says, well, at least you have legs, right? That was his way of helping her understand that there are bigger things going on than what is happening between them 2. So it's that understanding of what each one of those numbers needs to feel safe to fully go there. And when all the planets are aligned, the 9 knows they're not going to be forced. The 7 knows they can bounce out at any time. And the 4 knows they can fully express and they won't be judged or attacked. When all those are aligned, now we can go there and we can leave whenever we need.
Excellent, Spencer. I totally agree. I do it with micro expressions, which you do too.
Very helpful.
That's the way I'm client-centered. So if I see an expression of distress,
I'll check in, of course.
with a smile, it needs to be explored. But I won't keep anyone in the trauma.
Mm-mm.
And I will take a piece of it and then work with it. because I don't feel like people feel better if their trauma is triggered. It just makes it, it's like triggering PTSD in that moment. But 4s and 6s are attracted to going into the thing that hurt them and talking about it. And when they talk about it, they're creating a story that's so ingrained that is hurtful to them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spencer,